Welcome to this Mastery Empowerment course from New Earth One Network. This is designed exclusively for your higher self connection and embodiment. Welcome to this Mastery Empowerment course. I'm Lynn Gailey, and get ready for a high vibrational ride. We are with sound healer, sound therapist Lynn Miller, who is here to share her techniques with sound and spirituality and the arts to get us in the flow. Lynn, thank you for being here. Welcome.
Well, thank you so much. I am so happy to be here because I'm living my dream, and that's a lot about what I want to talk about today and do some experiential on how to live your dream, how to have more joy in your life, and with all the that's going on, hey, we need to have more joy. So that's what I hope to bring today.
We can already feel the joy. Thank you so much. Yes, so we're talking about the 222 codes of this year. And it really is about being in the flow. It's about using the intuition, the spontaneity, compassion, love, all qualities of the divine feminine, and the playfulness of it all. So we're looking forward to this time today. And let's have you begin with how you got started in this work.
Okay, well, so one of the things I'm a facilitator, a teacher, and I think all teachers, they, whatever it is you need to learn, that's what you end up teaching. And so I'll have to say I was a very shut down person, very quiet, very fearful for, first half of my life or more. And really, it was through singing that I brought myself back. I brought myself here. I became who I really am, not what everybody else wanted me to be. And so I'd like to, so that's what that's how I got here, what I do. And then that's what I want to share because I'm an expert on fear and all of that. But I want to share on how I overcame it.
Okay, I just love that singing is what opened you up to your trueness, to your authenticity, or brought you back into your flow. Isn't that amazing? So many of us, we are shut down to our singing. And so this is an important thing. I would think my vision of New Earth is everyone singing and dancing and laughing and playing. So we're excited to hear your journey and the principles that you want to share with us.
Yes. Well, I wanted to first share about how to get into the flow. So you talked about spontaneity and being in the moment. And I'm such an expert on that I wasn't in the flow that when I figured it out, I wrote this book called Spirit Arts Transformation through Creating Art, Music, and Dance. So I'm going to start with the music, and our voice is the most powerful instrument there is, because we can use it for healing. But in what I wrote about spirit arts, what I discovered is a 4-step process. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the first step is breath. So I can start to take us through this process right now a little bit, and then we'll come back to talking. But so breath. So I want you to go ahead and experience breathing with me and just make all kinds of breath sounds. So the breath helps us to connect with spirit. And the second step is the heart, to go into the heart. Actually, the second step is the body. It doesn't matter which order, but the body. And so to get into the body, you want to be grounded. So we're going to do some grounded sounds right now, like ho, 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 ya, ho, 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 hey, ya, ha, ha, ha. So I'm going to share a little bit later on some ways to ground and to get into the body through some energy work. So we'll be doing a little bit more of that. Just want to go quickly over these 4 steps. So breath, body, and then the heart. So when we go into our heart, it helps. Let's get out of our head. It's our head that stops the whole process of the flow, because we're like, did I do it right? You know. And then the last step is deep listening. To listen for that intuitive impulse. And so we got breath, body, heart, and deep listening. So those are the 4 steps that we'll explore a little more later on in the program.
Instantly, we can feel that connection. And it's beautiful that it's so simple. And it's you've said it all when you say that the mind takes us out of it. So really, we need to transcend the mind or calm the ego down, right?
Yes, that's right. So it's the mind that gets us worried, concerned. So I'll just jump in, as we're talking about, a couple things we can do. One thing that is right off the bat, put your hand on your head. Like when we're worried and such, we might naturally do this. But this is a Qigong, comes out of Qigong, but Eden energy work. And these are our neurovasculars. So what happens is, all the blood leaves our head, and it's all, so if we do this helps us to calm whenever we feel overwhelmed or feel defensive. Because when we're feeling defensive, we quit learning. We're not open to new information from actually the divine. So that takes us back into our heart. So we want to learn how to get out of the way.
Yes. So you also mentioned like the vocal vagal toning. Let's go into some of the therapies or the treatments or the processes that you teach on and expand from there.
Yeah, so the vocal vagal is
Vagal.
hitting the vagus nerve. And the vagus nerve is one of the most important nerves that helps calm our nerves. And the vagus nerve is starts at the brain stem here, and it goes all the way in. It governs our inner ear, our ear, the facial muscles, eye muscles. The throat goes on down into the heart, and then our organs are our spleen, our liver, and our belly. So it's the mind body connection. It's communicating back and forth without us realizing it all the time or thinking about it. So, singing is one of the best ways to literally tone the vagus nerve. And when the vagus nerve is toned, then we go into rest and digest. Then once we're feeling calm, then we can take in information, and our whole brain is working. When we're when it's there's blocks, or then our nervous system is dysregulated. So there's so many simple things. So the vocal vagal uses simple sounds to help to calm that nerve, that vagus nerve. So we're going to start with something called peacemaker. So put up your middle finger, but in a nice way. We're going to put it right behind your ear. And this goes right directly into the vagus nerve. It's talking to the vagus nerve. And then we want to have our hands on our face. And this helps calm the muscles in the face. And then we have our arms here, kind of on our heart. So it's communicating. We're communicating, and we're going to use the sound. Let's do a hum, like You can do any pitch, but do your hum. Try this hum, and just because I want you to notice if you feel any different after you do it. All right. So that actually helped put me in. It helped put me into my heart, and I felt it helped calm me down a little bit. So there's these very simple for the vocal vagal, and I'm going to be offering some classes, and one of them is using the 6 healing sounds, which is from Qigong. And these are very simple sounds. You don't have to be a singer, but it calms the same thing. It calms the vagus nerve, and it targets different organs in the body. And then I'll also be offering one with the chakras, and we'll be doing simple chakra sounds, and we'll be also doing Eden energy holds while we're doing the chakra sounds, which help energetically bring even more energy into those chakras. And then we're going to I'm offering 3 classes, and then the other one is going to be more free play. And all of them we play. We'll learn these sounds and then we're going to play with them because then we can really integrate them.
I just want to say that that simple process of humming, I mean, we could feel that vibration through the fingertips and in the body. And these are such interesting tools for self nurturing that, wow, really powerful yet simple. It's amazing.
Yeah, I really find depth and simplicity. I always find that it always comes down to keep it simple, and that's where you can go really deep. And so that's also part of the intention of the course is to go deep and to that we go into our truth and into our authentic selves. And so we will be doing some authentic singing, and then I'll have some very simple forms to help bring us there so that we go beyond ourselves, our analytical self, and then we are being guided. And once we get out of the way, then we're opening up our creativity. And so we do this also through improvisation. And by improvisation, I mean creating in the moment. And so so that you're being present. And so it's almost like a mindfulness avenue in by being present. So being present to the sound. And so part of what you do is, okay, I go into quickly do that step of breath and get into my body. So you just move your body in some way. Breath, body, and if we go into the heart and then listen for the first note. And hip, hip, hooray. So, by facing the moment, in the moment, without, you face it with, oh, no, not wanting it to be good. We always kind of want it to be good, but that we face it with nothing to lose, nothing to gain. It just is. So why don't we all try is? Just go into is, the isness is, and feel the vibration of is. So this is another way we're going to be getting into the body through simple sounds. So is. and then we might play with is, like I'd be go like is, and then I'd have you call back. We could do a little calm response. I'm gonna is, and then I'll hear you. Is, is. So that's just showing how simple these structures are and how we will play with them. You may be wondering what this is I'm playing. Actually, this is a kodomo. It's got the Indian tambura. So it's a drone, and the drone is so nice for supporting our sound. And then this part is it emulates the kodo, the Japanese kodo. So this is a hybrid instrument, meaning that it's a brand new instrument that's taken from traditional instruments. But what's great about it is that there's no right way to play it. And that's the same with improvisation approach, that there's no right or wrong. It's just what is. It's what is what we just did, what we did in the moment, and that's what is. So the first step to any process is to show up. Because nothing will happen if you don't show up. And then to surrender. And as I said, detach from being right or wrong and listen. You just listen. So once you make one sound, you can stick with that one sound if you're like, oh, that feels good. Or it may lead you to another sound. So we just have two sounds. So I'm going to play with those two. You might try to discover how many things can I do without those two sounds. Add texture. So when we step out of the way, and we do that through breath, so whenever you may feel fear, or I'm thinking, did I do that right? Take a deep breath. get into your body. Make sure you can feel your feet on the ground. And don't forget to go into the heart. So the heart, this is the soul. So you're being led by your soul. And that's what's the beauty of the arts. So I'm talking about dance, music, writing, all of it. It's expression of our soul. It's soul expression. Who we really are. So you listen. That was the last step. Deep listening. So say with singing, you start. You got to show up. So you start. I'm going to start this time with Gita. So that was my start. And I don't know where it came from. We've got infinite possibilities. It's just so fun to see, like, what comes up. Gita, 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 Gita. And then you can try, explore different ways to Gita. Gita, Gita, Gita. Maybe do it backwards. Tagi, 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 Gita. And don't be too overly concerned. Like if you, I can't think of anything, I don't know. Then don't forget to not take yourself too seriously. And to laugh. Can always start there. So, with our laugh, we got sounds like ha 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 ha, ho ho, ho ho ho, ha ha ha. You might find that a start. Ha 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 So you just have to trust. You have to trust there's something in there. Because there is. It's infinite possibility. You just have to allow. So we'll play with some words as well, like allow. There's energy in our words. So let's do an allow chant. This one's really fun to play with your mouth. Remember back at when I was talking about the vagus nerve? I know I'm throwing out a lot of information on this. But ow, wow, 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 wow. When we stretch the muscles in our face, we're actually calming our nervous system. So you just have to So, as I mentioned, I'm going to be offering um, the 6 healing sounds, and they are really powerful. They're like 5,000 years old. So they really work. It's just amazing because they're very simple sounds. So, like right now, I'm going to give you a sound which for the spleen, and that's over here on our left. So we might want to put our hand on the spleen, and then remember that peacemaker. You put your middle finger here. So I see I have my finger here, and we're going to do the sound. Actually, we'll do ho. So when you do the sound out loud, like ho, it goes to the organ and helps to support that organ. And so let's do ho. Just ho. And imagine sending energy. Could be any pitch, any ho. 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 It can be like ho. It could be like ho, like a sigh. Ho, 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 ho. So each organ has an emotion associated with it. So the spleen would be worry, stuck in thoughts. So if you find that you are worrying or stuck in your thoughts, then you would do this. But to go into the emotional level, we're going to do it in a whisper sound. And imagine we're blowing the energy out, and the sound will be, and just, so we're blowing out the worry. You might even go into that worry, like go into it so you could really get it out. Like you. And then you want to bring in, we also use energy color, the golden light, bringing golden light into the spleen. And so now just imagine, we'll put both back to our peacemaker and imagine golden light coming in through our whole body and go into that spleen. And so you want to kind of see that color in the spleen. Oh, yeah. Wow. Ah, so that's just a very quick example of one of the healing sounds. And then I'm also going to be doing one on the chakras. And we're gonna use the sorghum sounds. This is my Shruti box. It's one of my favorite support instruments. It's from India as well. It's another drone. So the drones are great support. So we're gonna I'm gonna teach you this, just like our do, re, mi. We'll do that, but then we'll learn the sa, re, ga, ma, pa, da, mi, sa. and we'll do them very slow so that we can go into that deep listening and really hear and hear. It's almost like you hear the energy. Sa, and as each one we'll hold our hand on the chakra so we feel that energy, and then we'll also be bringing some energy medicine into each chakra and also going into the emotion surrounding that chakra, and then the solution, how to move that energy. Sa, and then we'll play with the sounds. With different feelings and textures, so that when we play with them, it really integrates. And we'll build up to the to the improv, but so those lots of warm-ups, so nothing to be fearful about. It's really about finding joy in the moment with your own sound. And as I mentioned, we're going to be also doing the principles in this book, Spirit Arts, Transformation through Creating Art, Music, and Dance. So I'm going to be offering a whole series. The first one is the 3 I mentioned, with the 6 healing sounds and the chakras and the freeing our voice. And I'm starting with the voice because it is so healing. It has so many levels on learning for ourselves. And we really need the healing, and that's why I'm bringing in the vagus nerve as well, because it helps with trauma. And face it, we're all going through a lot of trauma. There's in our what's going on in the world with the pandemic. But I'm going to be giving very simple, like right now. I'm going to put my finger over my ear and then put some in here on our crown. And this is the radiant circuits. And this helps to bring more joy. So you just imagine more joy right now as I'm talking. Joy coming right in there in your crown. And so all of this is to bring more joy. So no matter what's going on, no matter what's going on, we're not going to let it get us. No, not us. Because we've got to have all these great tools to help clear our own emotional body, help clear our own physical body, and to open up to our spiritual body, and how to get out of the way. We're going to learn to listen. Sound is a lot about listening. It's sound and silence. How to get out of the way so that the muse can come right in. And then I plan on doing also through these processes visual art and movement down the line. And so it's all through some of the same principles that I've been talking about. We start with how to get in the flow. So you practice that. Like if you find yourself, take a breath. So you do that 4-step very quickly after you practice it. Take a breath, get into my body, feel my feet on the ground. Don't forget to get into the heart so I can get out of the and listen. So that's why silence is so important. that we have silence in our life, and so that we listen. And if we hear something, woohoo, we've got to follow through. That's the thing. So, we can be getting messages and then we don't do it. We don't listen to it. And then, hey, your angels or whoever's messaging you, your elementals, whoever's messaging you, they're going to go like, hey, I've been knocking on that door and she's not listening to me. So we're going to practice listening. So we hear the message. And then, what did I say? Show up. Then you got to show up. You got to show up and do it. And you got to, sometimes jump off the bridge. So go beyond your fear. And I'll be giving very simple exercises, another energy, how to tap the fear right out. So you could try this. And whenever you feel fear, you can tap this. And then you want to do the other side. And then you can do sound that helps support even more, because it's the instrument of the body. It's giving that message like da 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 da, because we're not gonna take ourselves too seriously. So we're da 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 da. Woo! Okay, Lauren.
You are so fun, Lynn. It is beautiful. Really, I love this. It's as if we are channeling, when we are in through the 4 processes, we are channeling our guides, our angels, our higher self as we get out of the way. And so this, not only can we use that voice, that spontaneity to make us feel better, to calm us down, but also to assist other people as well. That's that healing aspect.
It's true. So you use the same in my healing work. It's the same. So whether it's for my own, creativity, it's the same thing. If I'm doing healing work, I've got to be present with whoever I'm working with. Or even, the healing work could mean I'm listening to you, I'm listening to whoever I'm communicating with. And so this is a skill that a lot of things have been lost. Like, people aren't always listening so much, So, so you have to be present, and not be thinking, oh, I wonder if I should do this, No, just get out of the way. So take a breath, feel your feet on the ground, get into your heart, and now listen. And so you want to be present when you're doing any healing work, whatever healing work is. And the great thing is you can apply this to your whole life. So when we do this, we apply these principles. So we do the principles through the arts to learn the lessons. And then you can apply it to your whole life to have more joy. And what happens is you start having more synchronicity in your life. And that is fun. That is fun.
That's really where Spirit is showing us we're on the right path, that we're in alignment. That's amazing. I love the freshness and the simplicity of this, because so many of us, if we've been shut down, I myself remember myself was the harshest critic of my singing, and then I let others judge me, and that really hindered my singing. So when I was working through some singing, taking some singing lessons, and I would be in the middle medium range of my voice, singing from my heart, I would start crying. And that's very interesting, because that's my soul remembering that was something so natural, but I also remembered my judgment that shut it down. No one else but me. So,
Absolutely. That is the truth. Hey, and I'm an expert on this because I was, quite the big judge, and it still can come in, and then you got to catch it. Oh, wait a minute. And so the remedy is to love self. So a great way is to, really, right? Well, I'm doing some bilateral tapping right now, which helps for movement and change. But I'll just go in there in the heart and just you want to say I love you. I love you, and feel comfortable with that, or go into our heart. So anytime that I hear my judge, and I had a big one because I had a lot of criticism growing up, and sometimes we carry it through. And I mean, I could go, whoop, but then I'd have to dig myself out. And so now I nip it in the bud because I don't want to go, I don't want to do that anymore. So I just like immediately, say, I love you. You're great. You're great. You're great. You're great. You're great. You're great. We're all great. We are all great. And so we just have to accept that.
I love nipping that in the bud and using these self-comforting tools. Really powerful. Thank you so much. This deep listening, hearing the energy of it, it's so fun to see you play with those sounds. And again, it's this matter of being present. And so some would say, when we're dealing with light language, that's really what we do with light language is we're listening for that to come through. That might be coming out of our DNA. So this is beautiful as we become authentic with ourselves. You are so authentic. It's so fun to watch.
Well, and so that's great. And then we're going to go into our authentic sounds. And you'll find that I have ways through, I say, babbling that we can help take you out of your thoughts. So I'm going to share this is one of my drums that I paint these. So but we'll start with a simple like dig it blah 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 blah, and so we till we get out of the way, and then we'll start to put it into more communicating with each other through that. So it starts out really fun. People are like, oh, and, little embarrassed maybe at first, and then it's like, oh, and then you feel okay. People sometimes they start laughing, and so that's great. That's great. That's what I've said. Hey, if you're start laughing, they laugh, and then they go through that, and then we continue the next step of the exercise, and then we're communicating, and then we're free. And boy, does it feel fun to be free.
Free to be, free to express,
Yeah.
free
Woo!
to take your colors and draw, or
Right.
free to paint or dance and move.
Uh,
Ah, I can
uh,
feel the liberation in that.
yeah. all of it. So, oh gosh, dancing is the best. Ooh, you know, that talk about getting to the body. So
Yeah.
we'll use a lot, I said, some of the same principles, and when we get to the dance part and how to dance, dance in the moment. Do 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 do. Yeah. But I mean, that's a hey. If you find yourself, you know, even criticizing, you know, just let's dance. Boo boo. Boo boo boo. So let's dance, and then visual, you know, visual art is just so beautiful because what happens is you go into your subconscious through color, through shapes, that it's so remarkable what comes out, just like with the sound. Oh, I didn't know that was in there, but it is. And so once you allow, you get out of the way, you put the mark, there's your start, just like you put your first note, there, put your mark on the page, and then the next, and then the next, and then something will appear. You have to trust. Something's gonna show up, and then you can look at it like, oh, what is, what do I see in there? And then you accentuate it out, and it's pretty remarkable. And then we'll do a process on processing our art. I'm also an expressive arts therapist. I'm a music therapist and an expressive arts therapist and a sound healer.
So wonderful. We are excited for the courses that you're offering. Thank you so much for sharing this beautiful overview of all the things that you teach. So I love this because people can join in individually to whichever course resonates the most with their heart, or they can do all three. It's really very cool. We are excited. The registration for each of these links are on this webpage, and people can sign up for that, learn more, read more all about it, get into it, feel into it, and get happy with us. Sing and free your voice. So liberating. I mean, I was doing this alongside with you, and I just want to go continue it when we get done with this because, wow, it is liberating. And I love that it doesn't have to be right or wrong. There's no right or wrong anything that we do with our voice. That's the liberation. And we don't care what other people think either. That's another liberation. Beautiful. Thank
Yes.
you, Lynn.
Well, thank you. I'm so excited about this, and I really thank you for the opportunity so that I can share with all of you. Thank you.
Yay. As we wrap up our course today, any final thoughts for those singing out there?
Oh, just take a deep breath and make a sound. Ah, and do that. Just show up. Show up. I hope you show up to the course because I mean, I really want to play with you. It's fun. I want to have fun. And I hope you do too.
You know what? I think we're all ready for some fun. And
Yeah.
this fun comes from just expressing ourselves. Lynn Miller is a beautiful teacher to show each of you how to express yourself. She's like Madonna in that sense. Thank you, Lynn. Thank you so much. This has been wonderful.